Fighter Eala comes up short in Auckland semifinal despite brave comeback. Eala produced a stunning comeback at the ASB Classic, but ultimately came up short as Wang Xinyu saved a match to reach the final in Auckland. It was always going to be a tight contest as it was the world number 53 taking on the world number 57 with both players looking to reach a second career final, and the Chinese star managed to hold her nerve to secure a 5-7, 7-5, 6-4 win in 2 hours and 43 minutes. Both players showed remarkable fight-back qualities as Eala initially found herself 0-4 behind in the first set, but then won 7 of the next 8 games to take the opening set. She also lost her serve in the opening game of the second set, but broke back in Game 6 and secured a second break 2 games later to serve for the match. This time it was Xinyu who managed to turn things around as she looked to be on her way out as Eala had a match point at 40-30, but she saved it and broke back before a second break set her up to serve for the set. The world number 57 then got off to a blistering start in the decider as she again broke twice to open another 4-0 lead before Eala took a medical timeout for a possible back-shoulder injury. The Filipino threatened to stage another comeback as she claimed one break back and reduced the deficit to 5-4, but the 7th seed eventually served out the match. The world number 57 then got off to a blistering start in the decider as she again broke twice to open another 4-0 lead before Eala took a medical timeout for a possible back-shoulder injury. The Filipino threatened to stage another comeback as she claimed one break back and reduced the deficit to 5-4, but the 7th seed eventually served out the match. Her team quickly corrected her that it was a second final. Live rankings update. Eala, a runner-up at the Eastbourne International last year, had a chance to jump to number 43 in the live rankings with a win, but she has now been overtaken by Xinyu with the 24-year-old projected to rise 14 places to number 43 herself when the WTA rankings is updated on Monday. The Filipino, though, is set to reach a new career high of number 49. Xinyu could jump to number 40 if she wins the final, but she will have to get past either top seed Elina Svitolina or third seed Iva Jovic, with the two battling it out in the second semifinal. Eala will next be in action at the Australian Open, while Xinyu has signed up for next week's Hobart International. Fighter, the unfinished symphony of Eala in Auckland. On a radiant summer afternoon at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, the tennis world watched with bated breath. At its heart was Alexandra Eala, a 20-year-old Filipina whose rise through professional tennis has been as compelling as it has been inspiring. In a match that would test every ounce of her physical resilience and mental courage, Eala came agonizingly close to her first WTA final of the season, only to see her dreams slip by in an epic 3-set showdown against China's Wang Xinyu. What unfolded across nearly 3 hours on the hard courts was more than just a battle of forehands and backhands. It was a narrative of defiance, passion, and the poignant beauty of a fight that refuses to end quietly. A comeback that roared to life. From the outset, the match promised tension. Eala, seeded 4th, faced 7th seed Wang Xinyu, a seasoned competitor with a calm under pressure and a tactical repertoire that has seen her challenge the very best of the WTA Tour. Early in the first set, the script looked grim for Eala. She was down 0-4, seemingly in the grips of Wang's early aggression. For many, that would have been the moment to fold, to accept the momentum had shifted irreversibly. But Eala is not many. Her story has never been one of easy victories or predictable progress. Instead, what happened next was a testament to her spirit. Slowly but surely, she clawed back into contention, stringing together an extraordinary 7 games in a row. Every passing rally seemed to fuel her belief, and the swelling support of an impassioned Filipino contingent that had gathered around the court and at viewing areas across the complex. With laser-focused ground strokes, calculated aggression, and flashes of creative shot-making, she transformed a deficit into a 7-5 set victory, sending ripples of excitement through the crowd. This was not merely a comeback, it was a statement that Eala belonged here, that she could rise from adversity, that she could bend the momentum of a match that felt, at first, destined to slip away. The heartbeat of competition. The second set began with a brief misstep. Eala lost her serve early, a moment that could have deflated any less resolute athlete. But she responded with characteristic tenacity, breaking back at 6-6 and rallying towards serving for the match at 5-3. She held the key to her destiny. At 40-30, she had match point. One ball across the net. One perfectly calculated shot. One breath away from her biggest career final yet. It was here, in this razor-thin moment, that the tides refashioned themselves. Wang, under pressure of her own, produced the resilience of her career, saving the match point with superior composure. She wrested back the momentum, broke serve, and after 4 straight games, forced a decider, edging Eala in the second set 7-5. For Eala, who has earned the moniker fighter, not just from commentators but from everyone who has followed her journey, this was not a mere setback. It was a crucible that revealed the very essence of her being. One doesn't rise in sport by avoiding pressure. One rises by challenging it, by stepping into the storm and refusing to yield. The final set, a gritty tale of flesh and spirit. The decisive third set began with both players striving to seize an early advantage. Wang struck first, racing to a 0-3 lead, and it looked as though the weight of the second set's turnaround might have drained Eala's reserves. Her movement slightly compromised. She even took a medical timeout, a reminder that this match was not simply a testing of tennis skills, but a battle against the body's limits. But what emerged next was nothing short of courageous. Eala refused to let the score tell the story. She clawed back from 1-5 with a near-mythic fight, electrifying the audience with every hold and break of serve. At 5-4, she stood a mere 2 games away from forcing yet another chapter. Her spirit ablaze, her eyes aflame with belief. But in moments that defined sport, and life itself, the margins were infinitesimal. Wang held on, clinching the final game to win 6-4 and reach the final. For Eala, it was a loss by scoreline, but for everyone who watched, it was an affirmation of what it means to fight. Beyond the scoreboard, the spirit of a fighter. In the immediate aftermath, Eala reflected on social media with palpable emotion. "So close yet so far," she wrote, a poetic encapsulation of her journey in Auckland, and arguably, her career in full view. More than statistics or rankings, this match will be remembered as an embodiment of competitive courage, the kind that insists on playing every point, loving the battle, and treating every setback as a lesson rather than a verdict.